Hi guys, good evening, good afternoon, the happy weekend. Hope you guys had a workful week, and welcome once again to this learning session. Um, we have been, yeah, okay, we started out with IAC just last week, Sunday, yeah. Uh, Then we started out with the theoretical parts, talking about the different types of IAC tools and trying to kind of categorize them. We didn't complete that theoretical part. Well, the part that is remaining is basically, introducing us to Terraform. He actually classified the different types of MIC tools, where Terraform sits in the provisioning tool parts. That is where our focus is going to be for the rest of this module. Uh, I want to believe you guys have been practicing. Yeah, I know a few of us have been practicing, AWS. So this is IC is more like so the understanding of cloud computing now, is going to kind of make you guys appreciate IAC. So I think I mentioned this in the last session, yeah, that I've had to train people that they were not really grounded in the understanding of cloud computing, and it was very, very hard trying to make them appreciate automating, the provisioning of infrastructure using Terraform. Yeah, but for you guys, I know the the story is going to be very, very different because you guys understand cloud computing. Yeah, I want to believe so. Yeah, so this should be I don't want to say walk in the park, but it'll make more sense because now we are automating all of those things that we did manually, and it's always good to know how to manually do these things, and then when you automate it, it's going to make all of those manual things that you're doing, yeah, you appreciate, and you're going to understand. You shed more light to understanding on how to do it, automatically. I hope you guys can hear me clearly, though. Let me confirm so that I know I've set my
Yes,
my.
you're audible. You're audible, sir.
Thank
Yes,
you.
you're audible.
All right, cool. So like my manner is, I'm just going to say one liner here. Uh, says you don't understand anything until you learn you know, learn it more than one way. And we are in an environment or an ecosystem where there is no one cap fits all because of how changing the environment, the ecosystem is every tool. And I keep saying this, the tool that's the way you actually use a tool in the morning, by the time you want to use that tool in the evening, with the same interface and everything, you just learn that probably the same thing you did in the morning, you're trying to accomplish it in the evening, and then everything has changed. You need to do it, a different way. So, and as you would see, because we're going into um, code now, you see that there is no one way of doing this. Even when we manually did all of the things we worked on manually, you see that even though there are those steps, yeah, those steps, there are steps that if you take for, provisioning any service now, there are actually different ways you can actually do it because there are different properties, so you can decide on which properties to use. But when it comes to code now, you'd see that there are 10 different solutions. There are 10 different ways of accomplishing the same thing. And if anybody has ever written any algorithm, you know that there's no one path, there are different branches and they all, still converge to the same destination. So, and then so it is with all that we're doing henceforth. You won't say, okay, because Moyo did it this way, that's the only way to do it. No. And with the help of generative AI now, there are so many. Everybody would have their own kind of code base, their own kind of solution now to the same problem. Yeah, the goal is to solve the problem. So how you go about it, would be very, very different. And IT has made this very, very interesting. Yeah. So so I going into this session, yeah, you just have this at the back of your mind that there are different ways to actually achieving the same thing. And that's basically how you learn to do one thing in multiple ways. And I keep using this as an example. And I like that we have some of us even, also taking that part. When I was learning cloud computing, I was learning, in a boot camp like this, AWS, but at the same time, I was trying to marry those services in Azure, self-study, register for certification. So the goal was to understand cloud computing, from different, cloud providers, different perspectives, and that way it kind of solidified my understanding. Yeah, it was not, there's no learning that comes easy. Yeah, but with um, education and that's goal. Yeah, it's everything would just sit in place. Yeah, so welcome to my TED Talk. Like I said, this is our agenda for. I hope we're able to cover this today. I want us to cover all of this today, so we'll have fresh agenda tomorrow. So this will be agenda for today. I mentioned that we started out with the theoretical part last week Sunday, but we're not able to complete, so we'll still quickly rush through some very fundamental, fundamental but important things. Um, Understanding what Terraform is and why should we use Terraform. Again, all of these things, I would just go over it because I want to believe you guys are already pumped. I saw Master Hartford already sent in the chat that we're going into we're going into deeper things in Terraform. Yeah. Uh, the time is not very, very there, but we'll try as much as possible. So again, the foundation of everything is very, very important. Yeah, so I will try as much as possible to lay a very good foundation in IAC Terraform. Again, you would see that most of these tools, yeah, once you understand one tool, if you're going to learn, any other tool around, that um, space, it will not be as steep because they all have again that's on the underlining the same underlining principle. Yeah. So having if you're well grounded in one, maybe not even well grounded, but you have that um, solid foundation. Yeah. Moving to any other tool around that, say, like we talked about the different types of IAC tool. Yeah. Yeah. So you're going into provisioning tools now, and then you understand Terraform properly, and then all that why Terraform and all of the syntax and what have you now. By the time you want to even say, okay, you want to now go into cloud, the cloud provider specific IAC tool, you'll still see that they all have, and then you guys will still see, yeah, because we talk about cloud formation, you see that they kind of are, they're very, very similar. Yeah, and so with every other tool that you'll be learning, yeah, whether be it, configuration management, once you're grounded in one and you need to learn another, it's just going to be very, very, so we'll try as much as possible to cover the basics here for today, and then would um, Terraform uses a kind of special language, yeah, um, the HashiCorp configuration language. And so understanding this is going to, kind of be the goal for today's session. because every other thing that we'll be doing moving forward would be hinged around understanding, it's going to be we writing HCL. Yeah, so we are learning code. We want to, use code to provision infrastructure to manage cloud resources. So if we understand their languages, there's a language that we need to use. It's a declarative language. That's why I put in the second bullet point here that what is, just trying to differentiate between procedural language and declarative language. Most of the softwares that we have running, they are more the languages rather. Uh, we have high-level languages are more procedural, but when we come to uh, configuration kind of languages, languages that most tools now that we'll be using, in DevOps, is built around declarative languages. And we'll talk about the difference between these two, just so you have an understanding of why um, the HCL language is structured in a way. And I'll try as much as possible. Again, learning a language, programming language, a configuration language, would require practice, practice, practice. And then when you, especially, yes, most languages, especially languages that have syntax that's, are kind of flexible, you would need to be able to get used to it. But again, like I said, I'll try as much as possible to break it down, then with examples, obviously, and then we'll take it bit by bit. I'm not just going to throw us into, deep waters. We'll start from, shallow ground, and then we'll move on to more advanced things. Yeah. So I hope you guys have, are as pumped as I am to get this up and running. So all right, so this will be our agenda for today. I will be sharing my slide to cover the first two parts, and then we'll look at the other part also. I think this was where we stopped last week. Yeah, so we covered all of this last week. I was going to, yes, what is Terraform is where we are going to. Like I said, Terraform is an open source infrastructure as code provisioning tool. Yeah, it was developed by HashiCorp. HashiCorp, they actually have quite a number of, they have other tools now that they manage, and they are all open source. Vagrant, Packer, uh, these are all infrastructure as code tools, kind of. I think we talked about Vagrant and Packer last weekend. Packer is a server templating tool, and Vagrant is, I think it's server templating also. Yeah. I think we still have it here. Yeah, server templating, Packer and Vagrant, they are server templating tool. Yeah, so, and yeah, Terraform is the provisioning part of that suite of tools that HashiCorp actually is developed. So basically enables users, you and I now to define and provision infrastructure, using code, using a declarative configuration language. So you guys want to, some of these terminologies, you want to have them, just written down. And I will, as much as possible, be emphasizing it's the declarative, uses a declarative configuration language that is Terraform, and as you would see, it's an high-level language, obviously, so it's human readable. We're not talking about assembly languages or zeros and one binary. Yeah, but so it uses the HashiCorp configuration language. I mentioned this, it was written in Go. Yes. Go is becoming fast, popular, in terms of DevOps tools. Yeah. Uh, and so, just because of its flexibility and all of those things. Yeah. Provides a RAL-based interface. Yeah, so there's an interface. They have a GUI kind of, but we would be writing code for all of this. And anybody that probably wants to take, they have certifications also. There's even a Terraform Cloud, they have also the Terraform actually called Cloud now. It's Terraform Cloud, yeah. So you can use in managing your resources. And okay, I think the next part is why Terraform. I don't want to jump the gun. So the benefits of Terraform, yeah, includes it has support for multiple cloud. It's cloud agnostic, yeah. So provides, you can provision infrastructure across multiple cloud providers, and we'll see that very, very soon. They have they call them, yeah, they're called providers, and not just even cloud providers now. I think this is even you can use it in even provisioning, local resources. If you can use it to, can use it to set up your, data center, your on-premise data center. If you want to use Terraform, if you have the APIs to call, your data center, you can actually use Terraform to provision all of those. And you can use Terraform alongside other IAC tools now, for server templating and then configuration management and all of those things. You can use them hand in hand, and then um, just to have, say, if you want to run, that kind of hybrid cloud deployment. And then you can also use Terraform, alongside your version control to enable seamless collaboration. We would also learn that part also, how to work as part of a team, because obviously you don't want to even be so DevOps practitioner in an organization. You will be working as part of a team, and so you guys need to collaborate on, infrastructure provisioning. So Terraform allows you to um, version your source code now, your infrastructure, your configuration, so that me working from wherever I am, and then Eri also working from wherever it is, we can, kind of work on the same infrastructure provisioning. Same if we have an architecture now, then it's kind of complex. We can both work on it, and then at the same time have it deployed, seamlessly, yeah. Then have it automated also. So that's, but we talked about mutable and immutable infrastructure to achieve, that mutable infrastructure kind of architecture. You can have multiple people work together, and then scalability. Also, Terraform allows for the management of both small and large scale infrastructure. So no matter how complex, your architecture is, yeah, if you have an architecture that was, uh, built kind of created uh, uh, for high availability, and and highly, to be scalable and what have you, you can have Terraform help you do that. Yeah. And then you can, track changes uh, as you actually work on whatever, how complex your infrastructure is. The beauty of it, you guys will see very soon. You don't have to, unlike, when we're doing things manually, where if you can't complete your projects now, so that you don't incur any cost, like Henry has been incurring costs now, you can easily tear down all of your infrastructure, you know, with just one line of code. And then when you are ready to continue again, all you need to do is just run one line of code, and everything will be, built in seconds, yeah, without having to go through all of the pain of, um, you know, manually creating all of those things. So automating provisioning of your infrastructure, is it gives you that incremental resource notification, you can build incrementally. Yeah. And that way, and you still have everything uh, 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 documented, a health documentation. So for those that have been requesting for documentation, you would have it's already, self-documenting for you. Like I mentioned, Terraform is developed in Go language. Is I don't want to don't let me go into all of the single binary and all of those things are done. But Terraform basically makes API calls on. So I think that's going to be on next. Why? Okay, the benefit. Okay, how Terraform works. Basically, yes. Terraform works by, calls. Yeah, I told you guys that the AWS or whatever cloud provider now, the way we are able to um, provision infrastructure is, they've provided kind of APIs now that do all of these things. Whether you're doing it from the console or through the CLI now, you're making some kind of um, you're sending some kind of request now to the infrastructure, physical infrastructure that they have, they've set up, there's an interface, albeit abstracted from us now. All we need to do is probably click on the button and then, that's a request. Or if you write a CLI command, that sends a request to whatever, API that they have, they've already made available. Yeah, so Terraform now, is now sitting in the middle of, that ecosystem now, and then making API calls on our behalf to any of the cloud providers, whether Azure or AWS or, DigitalOcean, any other. Yeah, so it's still basically taking advantage, of the infrastructure that those providers already have in place, for all of their API servers now that you interact with. So all so you will use Terraform configuration. So these are kind of Terraform configurations here, template, script, and all of these policies. And then like I mentioned, all the configuration, Terraform configuration are based, they are text files, human readable text files now, written in the HashiCorp declarative language. All you need to do is specify what infrastructure you want, and you want to generate or you want to provision, and all of this Terraform will now take and then set it up on your behalf. So this gives us complete control over, of our infrastructure, our servers, our databases, load balancers, all our network topologies, all of those things, converting all of those codes into series of API calls, and it does it very, 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 very fast. Once we'll see all of this in action very soon. So again, the overview, the declarative syntax, I can't overemphasize this. We're going to take a look, at what procedural language and declarative language is. All you need to do is define the desired infrastructure state, and Terraform would take that and then, based on, well, if that environment or that service does not exist, from a provision, if it does, it would check if it is, if there are changes made to it, so, well, we'll understand this very soon, and it gives us this resource graph. You can create a graph of all of the resources, because it manages, so every object that Terraform manages, the complete life cycle of that resource, from when it was provisioned, and then all of the configuration, whatever configuration now that you do to it, whatever modification, that you do to all of those resources. Terraform handles all of this, so you can have like a graph now to see, okay, yes, these are how those all of the updates that have been done to this resource, and then this gives kind of automates, the changes that you make to your infrastructure, and making it consistent, and reliable. Is once you have done, once you have done, you provision that infrastructure, because it's in code. You're not, except you want to change the properties now. Anytime you run that, if you run that particular configuration for 100 times, you're going to get the same results. Well, if you try provisioning an EC2 instance, 100 times, you definitely miss a step. Probably you forget to, assign it to the right VPC or something. Yeah. But with change automation or infrastructure automation, all of those, that's consistency and that error that we humans are prone to, is taken away, and then your infrastructure provisioning is more reliable. Again, this is how Terraform works, and I think that's the end of this slide. So conclusion, Terraform, automates infrastructure provisioning and management, yeah, increasing, efficiency, and it also allows you to scale, if you need to provision 200 servers, all you need to do is, add a line of code, and then you can scale as fast as you want. Yeah. And with the way the tech space is evolving, everything now, is literally being done as code. So we have Jenkins X now, which is kind of, Jenkins, yeah, has been the CI/CD tool, the grandfather of CI/CD tools. But now Jenkins X is now kind of taking in AI to automate and make Jenkins, giving it superpowers. And all of this was born from, utilizing tools like Terraform. Yeah, because if you're going to use that, you have to kind of provision it using it. That's Jenkins X now using Terraform. Yeah, so there's so much that Terraform, an IAC basically is making available, or is made available. Yeah. So I thought I had a slide on what's the difference between procedural and declarative language, but I'm just going to go very, very, very briefly. So procedural languages are basically our um, uh, uh, the kind of languages now where the programmer, or the software engineer, defines sequence of steps called procedures now. Steps, procedures, gives instructions now that the computer must follow, to achieve probably desired outcome. Yeah. So it goes from top to bottom. But you can have control structures. I think we learned Bash. Yeah, Bash is a form of procedural language. If you don't have control structures, our for, while loops, or our conditions, if, switch, and all of those. Well, if you now go deep into functions, and then you make function calls, to now alter, that top to bottom kind of sequence of steps, so that's basically what procedural languages, are like. All you need to do is you define, sequence of steps, and you have to be detailed about it. If you don't explicitly define, uh, a step, the computer is not so smart, yeah, to figure out, okay, yes, this is what you're trying to say here, even though, yes, you know, I know people are saying machine learning and it's kind of, but on the underlining part before the machine can actually learn, there are sequence of steps that needs to be followed. Yeah, so we have quite a number of those languages, JavaScript, Java, C# and all of those um, high-level languages are following this imperative or procedural, paradigm. Yeah, you go from top to bottom, except yeah, you have to be detailed on how a lot of those I mentioned. That you have to be detailed in all of those steps, all of those tasks that you want the computer to execute for you. Uh, uh, so yeah, basically that's yeah, that's like what procedural languages actually is like. But for declarative languages now, um, they are more of the it basically allows you to set your command or order now, and then you leave it up to um, whatever system or tool now to carry out that order. Yes, you don't need to go into the nitty gritty into the processes. All you just need the results. So you kind of use expressive. You describe like what you want, and then the interpreter now would determine how it is going to actually achieve you know what you want, or whatever it is. All you need to do is specify what you want the program to accomplish. You don't have to tell it, you don't have to tell it how it should accomplish it. So there are no explicit control flow. All of those they've been abstracted away. The language runtime, they have a runtime, environment that actually handles how to accomplish that. So a word that is being used, when we talk about declarative language, is idempotency. So basically, is um, just says operations typically do not change the program state. So if we'll go deep into this, so maybe just hold this with your left hand. I'll explain more on what's idempotency practically, to us now. So again, the difference very, very, I think is not subtle, is very, very straightforward. For procedural, you have to be explicit. You have to tell, the runtime, exactly what it needs to do every step of the way. But for declarative language, all you need to do is, okay, yes, this is what I want. This is what I want to accomplish. So kind of logical, if you have it. So you don't have to worry about the step-by-step way on how all of this should be done. So in summary, basically, procedural languages are about defining procedural steps to solving a problem, while the declarative language basically focuses on defining the desired outcome without explicitly outlining the steps to achieve this. Yeah. I hope you guys are with me, are following.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I'm following.
Cool.
Yes, yes.
Thanks, guys. Okay, I think this brings us to the end of all of this theory. Our Terraform work. So yeah. So now we will be going into installing Terraform in the subsystem. I don't think we're just going to want to be using Windows subsystem. I think we'll just use Choco to install for Windows user. Again, like I said, Terraform is cross-platform. You can use it Terraform.io. So I will just show us briefly. So like with every other tool that you guys will be learning moving forward, there is a single source of truth for all of this tool now is the creators of the tool. So it's like buying a machine now, and there you have you have a manual in there, which the creators of that tool give to you. I think is logical that you follow that manual instead of trying to figure out how to probably assemble or use that machine yourself. So I always and I will always say the Terraform registry. I don't know why this is not coming up now. Registry. The Terraform registry is be your go-to point now for getting up-to-date information, documentation. So you'll be writing, you would probably need to provision infrastructure that whether you are even trying to manage, an already established, architecture or whatever. Yeah. So the registry, there's everything you actually need. This is where you're going to get it from. Again, we have our generative AI friends now that will try to make life easy for us instead of having to write all of that configuration from you can't even write it from your head because there are properties that you need some sort of help in figuring out. Yeah, so we'll be using this registry a lot, and you guys would and in this field you guys will be documentation. You can't run from documentation. It's what you'll be using for the most time. And then again, these things change a lot. Yeah, like Terraform is like a middleman between the DevOps or cloud engineer trying to provision infrastructure in whatever cloud provider or even locally now. Yeah, so it just sits as the middleman, and then it calls APIs on your behalf. Yeah, so like I said, we have tons of Terraform gives us access to tons of providers now. So providers is the word, whether it's a cloud provider or some other tool. So we have a ton of them. We have over 4,000, closing to 4,500 providers. You can actually do a lot, with Terraform. But again, we will be focusing on the AWS provider. And so if you come in here also, you'd see that AWS itself, they have quite a number of modules. They have quite a number of services now. I think we have established this. They have quite a number of services. Yeah, AWS has quite a number of services. So for each provider, all of the services that is available that you can use Terraform to provision, you have them in here. It can be overwhelming, but there is always a way around having to navigate documentations, which I'm going to show you how I try to do it to make life easy, because I'm very, very lazy. So I always look for shortcut around having to read through so many things. Yeah, so these are the things that we would be covering in a bit, but we need to first, set up Terraform because it's a tool, yeah, and then we need to have it installed on our local machine, yeah. So for those using Mac, I think I can always come to Terraform, and then this is where I was coming to that this thing was. Nope, nope. So let's install Terraform. So there are different ways for Windows users. Is there anybody that is willing to, share a screen so we can walk through installing for Windows? For Mac users, I'll be installing using. I have it installed already, but if you're a Mac user, you can use Homebrew. In fact, I would it for Windows users. Is You can install using Choco. Choco is a well,
Chocolate, you mean?
yes, chocolate rather. Yeah, yeah, it was good too. Because when you want to use Choco install. So chocolate is actually a package manager. But let me just ask the Akane confirms if you have Terraform. So you just do a Terraform iPhone help, just do a Terraform iPhone help. This would give you a list of all of the Terraform. If you don't have Terraform installed, it'll tell you is unrecognized. For Mac users, it's very, very straight. In fact, if you go to, I think it was you go to terraform.io and you click on download Terraform, you can run it from either. So who here would like us to where is loading? That is supposed to
No,
I have
can,
Mac.
I can share my screen. I have a Windows, but I already have the processing. I already have it in progress, so I don't know
I
if it's
have
gonna
Mac,
be
but
of
I've not
any.
downloaded it yet.
Oh, do you have Homebrew on your machine?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, Angela. What's
What's that?
Homebrew? Do you have Homebrew installed?
No.
Okay, so that's perfect. So since I have it already, Eri, don't complete yours yet. Let's walk through both installing on Mac and then Windows. Windows again, I would advise that you use Chocolatey. So you can do a install Chocolatey for Windows users while we work on installing Chocolatey is very, very straightforward. You use PowerShell. I think it's better you use PowerShell to install Chocolatey to just tell you to run this set command to check if you have, yes. Yes, you run the get executes, blah blah blah. Who should we go? Should we go for Windows or Mac first? Henry, have you said you were in the process already?
Yes, so I think a while back I did some chocolate installation, so I already had it. So I just opened PowerShell and I typed choco install Terraform
Oh,
and
Terraform.
it's in progress.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Okay.
but I can share my screen just to show exactly what I did.
Um, I don't know if there's any other person that's not even, that does not even have chocolate installed. Maybe so we'll run through that and that is willing to share.
So for this Mac, I'm seeing two options.
Oh, yeah,
AMD
can you share your
64.
screen, Angela? Let's walk through
Okay,
the
I'll share my screen now. I think you need to. Have you stopped sharing? It said you need to allow multiple sharing.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Okay, yes, you should be able to share now.
Okay. I can't share. I'm coming. I need to grant access with my security settings. Oh, seriously, I can't share. I don't know why.
There's the share button in the middle there of
Yeah, I've seen it, but I'm trying to turn it on from security settings, but I
oh,
can't turn it on.
that's trying to protect you from uh, um, okay, well, you probably, even when you allow Zoom to share, it probably tell you to restart Zoom for you to be able to actually, uh, you know, so who else has a Windows machine that we can quickly use in installing? Is actually very, very straightforward, yeah.
I have a Windows machine, but if you guys can give me like 5 minutes, let me just turn it on. I'm just getting home. So I can
Okay,
just get it ready.
all right, no problem, no problem. All right, so while we wait for Austin and also for Angela to have their machine set up, for again, we will be using also, I know most of us already have Visual Studio installed already, which is good. So we won't have to run through installation, but there are some um, um, extensions that we would need to also get set up to use Visual Studio, well, to kind of aid us in writing good configuration. Yeah, so we'll do that in a bit. I just want us to complete the setup of this. So if you have Homebrew installed, if I do a brew install Terraform, this will try to update Terraform for my for Mac. Yeah, it's going to just try to filter. Okay, I think there is. It's already installed. So I have 1.8.5. So why do I want to import 1.5? Either one, man. And so I have this installed already. So again, for Windows users, very, very straightforward. Once you install Chocolatey, just do a Choco install Terraform, and then it's just done. I think it takes some minute.
It's taking longer than I expected.
Yes, it takes a minute for it to actually install Terraform.
Yeah, I'm glad I did not stop it because
having to start all over again.
Yeah, so I'll just let it run.
But in my own case, I downloaded it on my laptop, my
Yes,
system, and
there are different ways
to.
to actually install it.
Okay.
Yes. So you can actually, I was trying to download because when I tried clicking on the download button, it keeps breaking. That's why, I don't know, downloading stuff, especially off of the internet I prefer, okay, yes, so so you can easily download the binary file. And after you download
Yeah.
the binary file,
Move it
all
to
you
my
need to copy it to your
C drive.
the parts, yes, to your environment variable.
Yes, I
That's
did
what I
write
did.
it.
Aha.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That's to make it available, in your. So again, once you come to the Terraform registry and click on download, again, this is for those that want to do it manually. But again, I always like anything that would make me just run a line of code, and then I have I can go ahead and go and maybe turn it or something. Yeah. While that is working, I'll always choose that option, and then you can use your, package manager to install quite a number of other resources also. So would also, for those that probably have not installed their AWS CLI, you also need to install the AWS CLI, and you can also use your Chocolatey to install the AWS CLI, just the same way you install Terraform, you also do a choco install AWS CLI, one word, and then you, I don't want to believe there's anybody that has not installed the AWS CLI on the machine, or is there anybody that's not done that? Come out clean now so that we can know those that are not following us in this session. But,
I'm sure I'm in that group.
I've not done it too. I don't think I have it too.
the AWS CLI.
You know, yeah.
Oh boy.
But I have it Azure CLI.
I'm not ready for you this evening. So
I'll
we
get
need
it done. I'll get it done. Don't worry.
Azure about.
I mean, if we say we should switch to Azure now, I'm sure we'll be soon.
No. I'm not saying you should, but I'm just trying to.
No, it's
know.
fine. No, I'm just going.
Yeah, I'll get it done. Don't worry.
Okay. Austin, are you ready for us now? Or can we just move ahead? I just assumed everybody has installed Terraform.
Jesus, I'm just talking on mute. I can install it on my own just to go around it and install it, but I can share my screen. You still want me to go ahead and share my screen?
Yes, please. I
can
know there are a few that may want to see the video and then would like to just follow the steps. That's why I'm trying to get us to. If you're ready for us, you can share it.
Okay. Share. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
So is it this one I should go ahead and download, or?
So just go to chocolatey.org-install. I'm just going to paste that in the chat. No, this is not where we want to come to though. It's chocolatey.org-/install. /install.
What am I doing? Is it the right spelling?
Chocolatey, there's no, okay, yeah. L-A-T, no, it's L-A-T-E-Y. L-A. L-A.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. See.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to open up PowerShell as an admin. Run as administrator, please.
Okay.
All right, so let's go back to that documentation. So you see that part where it says run get execution policy. Yeah, just run the get execution policy. Just that execution policy is what we want to run.
Okay.
Just to check
This one.
yes. So it returns. It should not return if it should not return restricted. There's a full stop.
Yep. Okay.
It's restricted. Yeah, cool. So there is the step to remove the restricted also on that same line. So it says if it returns restricted, then run set execution policy assign. Yeah. So all we want to do is we want it bypass. Yes to all. All right, so let's run that get execution policy again and see what is going to return. You can use the up arrow button to, okay, you have your clipboard. Cool. Okay.
Okay. See, outside.
That's
So
fine. So now you can now run the following. That's just copy from that the end part. Just use the copy button at the end there. That will save you having to. Yeah. Enter. This would also take a minute. Installing chocolate on this local machine. Angela, are you able to get your security settings up to allow sharing?
Not yet too, but I've downloaded it and I installed it, but I think I need to confirm from the terminal. What's the
Use
command to confirm?
Terraform -hyphen help. If it lists all of the commands that you can run, then
Terraform
space -hyphen help.
space hyphen help
help. Yes.
together.
Yes, -hyphen help is one word.
Oh no, Terraform
space.
command not found.
No,
That,
you have to
is
do
that command not found?
space then -hyphen help.
Yeah, Terraform space hyphen help. Like hyphen help is together.
Yes, yes.
That means that's not installed.
That means your Terraform is not installed here. Again, if you go to that Terraform
this is what my own is showing.
yeah, so this is fine.
It's
All
saying
you just close this PowerShell, and then reopen
okay.
it, and just close and reopen it. Then you can now
I
do
should
it.
open the shop PowerShell.
Yes, as admin also there. Then do a choco install Terraform. Why are you not using the normal PowerShell? Why are you using the normal?
This one that just entered my mind.
Okay. Right, so you can do a choco install Terraform. Choco is CHOCO. Choco. No. Just it's not one word. Choco space install space.
Okay.
Terraform is double R. All right, so I know this would take a minute. For Angela, so did you install Brew, or what are you using to install it, or did you just download the Terraform? You can as well just download the binary.
I downloaded it and I clicked on it to
Installed it.
install.
Okay. And that should work fine. Again, if you run brew, I sent a command to the chat. Once you run brew tap, ashicop tap, if you don't have Homebrew installed, it would give you the command to actually install Homebrew, and then you can use that package manager. Yeah. Again, I'm always making life easy.
Should I do the chocolatey install .psr ps1?
And just leave this to run. You don't.
Okay.
It will do all of the necessary things for you. Henry, is yours done running? I know it takes a minute. It takes a while.
No, it's not
So
done.
I can share my screen now. So once you are done, let me know so I can share my screen.
Okay. Austin, while this is running, can we quickly
Okay. I'm just stop sharing.
Yeah. So, Henry that started way before you is still running, so just take your time. But you want to look out for, in case you have anything that prompts you to maybe hit yes, you want to take note of that.
You can share your screen now. I've stopped sharing.
Yes.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the Terraform.
Okay, so unzip it. Yeah, all this
So
executive.
that was the only thing I did. He installed like, yeah, he did this verifying thing.
Okay. Terraform can be open because the identity of the cannot be confirmed. Security will allow installation of only apps from the App Store. Okay, so this is a
Settings.
thing. But again, just try to use Brew. So yeah, I know the macOS can kind of be restrictive at times, especially installing third-party you know, softwares. So just click on OK and then run the command that you have in the chat. Brew tap HashiCorp, just paste in the first one and see.
Command in the chat.
Yeah, I sent 2 commands in the chat. Just go to
Where's
the
the
top.
chat?
Go to the top of your screen. It will drop down. It's drop down
Okay.
the
I've seen it. It's not here. I can't see it. I closed my Zoom earlier.
Okay, so where you say install, go to your first tab, the tab you have where you say install Terraform, yeah?
Like
the first tab in your browser. I think you have Terraform there. The first tab in
the
your
first
browser,
tab.
install Terraform. In your browser now, it's your browser. You have
Your
installed
browser, you have those dots, those red dots, yellow dot, and the green
the
dot.
first tab you have there. No, the first
Yes.
tab.
Wait.
See, you have installed Terraform. Yes, that is
This
that.
one.
Yeah, so the package manager, the macOS package manager, just copy that command you have up there. Brew tab, yeah. Just copy everything and then paste. The first one is what you want to run first.
Okay.
Let's open your terminal and do that and run that there. So this would probably tell you,
ZSH.
This is another.
Oh, bro, it's not getting installed.
This was the one I downloaded to this one.
Yes, I understand, but because again you have restrictions on.
Can I remove? How can I remove? Can I remove from the settings or what?
Yes, you should be able to do that from. See the security settings now. How do you remove?
I don't even know the one I want to use.
So wait,
now.
go back to his general. I saw so
Okay.
it says Terraform was blocked from use because the identity of the Terraform can you do open anyways?
Okay.
So that you just grant Terraform temporary, open. You trust it, yes.
Okay, so it has installed now.
I think it's still downloading. Yeah. Okay. Process completed. Balumi, your hands are raised up.
Mine is just stuck in that Choco feature enable and allowed global confirmation.
It will take its time.
Okay.
So should I run that command now?
Okay, yes. Okay, yes. So in that other terminal that you have, you can just run the Terraform.
Which one?
Yeah,
Terraform package.
Use your up arrow button to try. Yeah. Still not found. No. Do you want to close, maybe close all of this terminal and open a new one? Balumi, you can speak,
Yeah. I have a question that is outside this well, it's related to, but it's outside what you are doing Terraform help, not Brew.
Even the Terraform help did not. Go ahead, Balumi. Well,
yeah, so I'll just drop a screenshot. I don't know whether you've encountered this when you try to run Terraform on why you've been using Terraform. I don't know whether you've encountered something like this kind of error before. Let me just drop that. Yeah, I've dropped my chance.
Angela.
But I can see that the bash is ZSH. That ZSH.
You have to initialize first before you plan.
I've done that. I've done that a couple of times. I initialize. I even do Terraform init dash upgrade. I've done a lot of things. It keeps bringing me back to this error, and I've checked my provider.tf and everything seems to be in order. I even tried to deploy copy the code to a fresh.
Are you sure you're running from the directory where you have your?
Yeah, I'm running it from the directory. Yeah.
Those are plugin, provider.
I'm running it from the directory.
So provider Azure resource manager.
Because this is not an error regarding the code. This is an error regarding the plugins and all those things that will be downloaded by Terraform automatically when you init.
It's the Terraform init that should actually pull in all of these plugins that you actually need.
Yeah. So, and when I've done that and I'm still getting this error, I'm not sure how to attack this again.
Maybe when we walk through.
Yeah, when we get there. I was thinking maybe it's something that you just share some insight, but if it's not like that.
When your plugin is not responding, just run a Terraform init again. In fact, I think there's a flag you can attach to Terraform init, maybe force or so, to pull in, do a Terraform init -help and see if you have a force option in there.
Okay, I'm checking.
We'll get to all of this. These are common issues that comes, with installing but running your configuration. Let's quickly I'm going to drop a command in the chat. Angela, maybe just try to run that, see if that would set up Umbro. Did you get that, Angela?
I don't know. I was muted. Yeah, I've copied it.
Yeah, so just let's use that and see if that will install Umbro.
Has it installed?
No. So you've copied. So now just run. Do an LL. So you pulled in. Do a bin bash install sh. Okay. You basically just I've copied /bin/bash. You pulled in /bash. This is me assuming that. No, bash.
Bash. Yeah.
Space install.sh.
My password, right?
Yep.
Password, yeah.
God, it worked.
What did you do?
Moyo.
Did you force it?
I didn't use any force. I just did Terraform init again. But I think the major thing that I did was I reinstalled I went through this Terraform installation process again. So I think it removed the old. Let me check the message. Yeah, it says that it was removing the old version and replacing the new version or something. So that was a major thing. That's the only new thing that I think I've done here, because all the Terraform inits, all that I've done that one. But God, it worked.
Interesting.
Hold
My
on, my
God,
network.
I'm not sure it's network.
Yeah, see? Whenever all of Terra, I've been in a session where I ran Terraform in it, and the thing was just failing until I switched to another ISP,
Really,
and it worked.
really.
So when it comes
I'm
to all
telling
of
you.
these things, and you will
Ah,
try some things, and
I'm telling you now.
it will make you look like you are going insane. Yeah.
Damn.
But when I saw that error, I knew it was a plugin related issue. So
I knew that it was a plugin related issue, because it was not. No, I ran Terraform plan and everything, every single thing that I've written is green. Every single code that I've written is green.
nice.
So now
Look, you're
do
pressing us.
Terraform
That we are
apply.
just trying to learn
So
Terraform. Yeah.
you see, all this while that we are doing, I'm working on a project that I got sucked into just do to use Terraform to deploy some resources on cloud. So that was what has been really sapping my energy from the class videos and doing that project too. So I'm just trying to see how I can balance the two of them.
No problems. Okay, it looks like your download also would take a minute. So that we don't just keep waiting for all of these things to download. I sent the documentation that you can just follow in installing, just follow through, on that documentation on installing Homebrew, and then once Brew is installed, you can use it to, install whatever. You can just copy that documentation and have it saved somewhere. And that's for Mac users. You need to install Homebrew and all that. Yeah. Austin, I'm sure that thing is still downloading.
You cannot wait for us like this.
It's still downloading.
Henry, it's just done.
No, it's still in progress.
Oh boy.
Mommy, I just did workout as not the talk.
Wow. Operation. All right, now please let's move on. So installing again it should be straightforward. If you're having any issues, just follow the documentation, and then you'll figure it out. It's like installing every other software that you're using, so that we don't just keep waiting, because I know that installation, especially for Chocolatey, it takes a minute. Yeah. Even if I'm glad mine did not decide to update, or else that also takes a while. And the file is not, I don't know, it's not very, very large. I don't know why it takes forever to do the installation. Yeah. But once you run your
But wait I don't understand this. The one you sent now is for
yes,
homebrew.
it's for Homebrew. Yeah. So once Homebrew is done, once where's
Mac
the
Uh-huh.
user. Mac user. So
so for Windows again, just follow the Chocolatey and then wait for it. Once you have Chocolatey installed. So for this is what you just run now. This, and then you run that script. So once you are done running it, and then you do echo -this, this will tell you which shell you are running. If it's Bash, you would open up your Bash profile and add this part to it. If it's ZSH, open up, the ZSH, and again add this part to it. And then when you're done, if it's Bash or just run this command to restart, and then with that, if you run a brew doctor, it will tell you your system is ready to use brew, and then you can now do a brew install Terraform instead of tree. You don't want to install tree, you want to install Terraform.
I'll now click brew install Terraform.
Yes. after you've
That's all.
gone through all of this. Yes. So when you're done,
Yes.
after it's done installing Terraform, you can now, go to your terminal and do Terraform. I think you can even do an -V, and then you get what version of Terraform you are using.
Okay. Oh. All right. Since still downloading.
Yeah, so I think it will try to install. So I skipped this part where you install X. I don't know why it's asking you to install the Xcode command line tool. So if we had installed this first, I'm sure you won't have to do all of that. Plenty installing Xcode tool. Yeah. All right, let's move on, guys. Do we have the for those that have installed Terraform already? I'm sure you say we should install. Master Hartford, yeah, the only one that has installed Terraform. Even Henry is sitting. Okay, Malumi is not even with us. He's trying to deploy.
I've installed it.
It's your
That was
fault.
Yes,
why.
I know
That was
you
why.
Else you'll not be able to run. You'll not run into that issue. I know you have Terraform installed already, but you're not with us. You're trying to deploy SpaceX.
I apologize for that. I apologize. I'm with you now.
Don't feel guilty, Oviko. All right. Moving on. So anybody having any issues? If you wait, well, once this is done, if you have any issues, we'll pick it up. Hopefully, whenever it is, I'm sure it will run smoothly. Anyways, yeah. So install VS Code. I'm sure all of us have VS Code installed already, but installing VS Code is just one part to all of the things that we'll be doing. As for VS Code is a very robust tool, yeah, and so learning to using it the right way is also very, very important, yeah. And I always say, especially if you're writing code, you need um, organization. Your organization skills need to be you need to sharpen it, yeah, because I've had people spend weeks trying to run their configuration, and then when we eventually took a look at it, we saw that they were trying to run their configuration from a different directory. Yeah, so if you organize properly, it will save you so many down the line. So one of the first things I ask Pelumi is, are you sure you're running Terraform from the right directory? So those are some checklists now, that you and so if you organize properly, it will save you. So we would learn first and foremost to organize right. But before we even get there, there are some extensions which is necessary. Well, if you want to kind of have proper, you want to be able to, just by looking at your you know um, work space now, you want to be able to tell, okay, yeah, this is what I'm working with, this is file. So if you come to extensions here and then you search for Terraform, there are two Terraform configuration extensions that I think is really, really necessary. So this first one, that is by HashiCorp, you want to install that. This would give you proper syntax highlighting. So these are the things, and also auto completion for some Terraform resources. So you want to install the one by HashiCorp, and also the one by Anton Kulikov also gives you some extra features also. Yeah, so you want to install these two Terraform extension, and I'll show us some of the benefits of actually using all of this in a minute. Yeah, so I see that my VS Code is asking me to restart, so I'm going to quickly restart this and while that is restarting, when I was talking about organization, so before I always, so that you have a central place now of managing all of your configuration. So I always like to put my, create a directory for putting all of my configuration file. And this would save us plenty of headache. So on my desktop, I'm just going to make directory. You can do this anyhow you want. Make sure that you have the version script. So I'm going to make a directory. I'm going to call it July IAC. And I'm going to go into that July IAC. And I'm going to run a code dot. If I run a code dot, this would open up VS Code for me with that directory in here. This is one way that I can do this. This basically opened up my VS Code, and then I am in the right directory. That's one way. Or if you run a code dot, and the code space dot worked for me because I've done some extra configuration. I'm sure if you guys try to run it, it probably would not work. You can always, once you have your VS Code open, you can just always click on open folder and then navigate to wherever it is that you have. And then this would open up. Again, there are plenty ways to achieving the same thing. So this has opened up so this is the directory that will be putting all of my my configuration moving forward. Yeah, and then this the VS Code also has its own terminal. Yeah, and I think this is where you probably want to be running all of your configuration. Yeah, so we have the terminal, and this would open up. If I open it up, it would open up. If I do a print working directory, I see that I am in the right. So these are the few things you want to always look out for before you start running your whatever command after writing all of your configuration, that is, else you're just going to be experiencing some very, very funny errors. Yeah. Did you want to say something, Master Hartford? Or was
No.
Okay. All right. So I hope we are still on the same page, guys. Even though you are still downloading your Terraform, you can still, while you wait for that, I think all of this part is also very, very important, except you want to maybe go back to watching the videos after you've done installing. Yeah, so we want to start by learning again, understanding the HashiCorp configuration language basics now is very, very important, because every other thing that we'll be doing would be based on all of the things that we'll be learning here. So like I said, every object that you use Terraform to manage is seen. So the lifecycle, every resource now is seen as an object, kind of. Yeah. So and then Terraform manages, the lifecycle of all of that object. But before we even start talking about object, every Terraform configuration, so I'm going to create a new file. I'm just going to call this for moyo.tf. So every Terraform configuration file has the extension .tf. I'm using moyo.tf, so you know that you can call this whatever, but we'll still talk about best practices in naming your configuration file to save you when others see your configuration file, so they are able to make sense of it. But for this preliminary place, I'm just going to call this moyo.tf. Again, the most important part is the .tf extension. That is, and I don't know if you noticed, the moment I've not even created the file, the moment I typed .tf, this icon kind of came up. That's what one of those extensions that we created. Actually, this is one of the benefits of it. So you can easily determine or differentiate your configuration file from, say, if I have a pro.php now, immediately. So all of these extensions, they, in a way, aside from code, syntax highlighting and auto completion and all of those things, they also give you, so you can, because your configuration file can contain, well, your workspace now can contain other source code. Yeah, so this would help you save time. So I actually do not need PHP file, but writing PHP today. So again, all of our configuration file, yeah, aside the ones that would have different kinds of extension, I'll be explaining them, as we move forward. Yeah. So every Terraform configuration has this there is I've lost my train of thought. What was I?
Provider, yeah.
Yeah, before we even get into provider. So we're trying to get the syntax, the HCL syntax. So like I said, we have different blocks of code. So let me just type resources. Provider. Type and then name, and then we can have different config options. Takes a key value pair. You guys just bear with me. Who asks you to lose connection here? So my co-pilots can do the most.
Sorry, let me ask a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
Sorry, which of these plugins and I give this color code now? Is it the first one?
So it's the HashiCorp one that actually gives the syntax highlighting. I think what that Kulikov one does is for this icon that it gives to you. Yeah, so for every Terraform block of resource now that you will be provisioning, it takes this this format. So basically this again is a block of, we call it a block of code. So this is a block, and then we have parameters. And inside the parameters, we can now have, all of those things inside your key one, value one, key two, and then you can have this on and on like that, value two. So this is basically what's for the resource. The resource is a block. So you can see a resource block. Yeah. So is basically a type of objects now that Terraform is going to be managing. We have different kinds of block or objects now that Terraform can actually manage, create for you. Yeah, but that's why I put a block here. You can have a block of resource, a block of data source. We can have different things in here, but we'll be starting with resources. That's why I just put this first. But again, this is the basic syntax. Then parameters now is kind of a combination of all of this, your provider, and then the resource type that you're trying to create. This again will be dependent on where the provider, I talked about provider now. We have different providers, but our focus is going to be on AWS, but we're going to start locally first. Like I said, you can use Terraform to kind of create different kinds of, resources, not just, cloud resources now. Yeah. So these two, I have them, at the back of my head, especially, but I'm not going to be writing all of this from my head, and I will point this out very, very soon. But this is what we'll be referencing the Terraform registry from time to time to get all of the code that will be putting in here. But if you have this at the back of your mind, I'm just going to comment all of this out, and then we'll see when we start writing proper configuration how you see the similarity even from here. Again, this is like the very the basics, of our Terraform configuration, and then this is what's a sample kind of block of objects now. So you have your block. Again, this is a resource, and then we'll see soon that we can have a provider and then a resource type, and then this is just a logical name. You can call this whatever. We'll see why this is important also when we start what's that word, when we start interpolating and resources together. Again, so if I'm using things that you guys don't understand, or I'm throwing about some technical things, please do call me back so I can go over these things myself again. Like I said before, we want to first
Sorry, I missed where you got this template from. How did you I was on my desk.
I'm just
Was this autocomplete? Is this autocomplete from one of the plugins you installed?
No. This is me trying to explain the HCL syntax now.
Yeah, I get that. I'm saying, did you have to go to like the documentation? Like, how did you get this?
I didn't get this from anywhere. This is, again, I'm trying to explain what the HCL syntax looks like. I've not gone to get any configuration now. I was just about to go get it now.
Okay.
But I'm also confused. Like, is this like this template? Is this like a standard, or you just type it out?
I just typed it out. I typed this out, just to explain
from the resource to. I'm talking from the resource.
Yes, I said resource is an object now. That's a block of objects that Terraform manages. And we'll see that very, very soon when we want to start creating different objects, different infrastructure. I'm trying not to use resource because resource is a keyword now in Terraform. Resource is a keyword. We'll see some other kind of other keywords now, data sources, outputs, all of these variables. Those are different objects, that Terraform manages. But so this is the high level syntax of what it looks like. This block, this resource is a block, and then we have parameters that are a part of this block of objects now, and then inside of it we have different options. These are the options: key 1, key 2, and all of those things. So if you have this seated in the back of your mind somewhere, when you start seeing proper blocks of now, it would, all of this again, by the time I paste in, like I said, this is where we will be coming to the Terraform registry, is where we'll be pulling all of our resources from. So before we even go into provisioning AWS cloud resources, I always like to use a local creating a local file. I think it was during the Linux module that I demonstrated that on your the same way you can actually come here and then use your torch or whatever to create a file now. So if I do a torch and then text.txt, this would create this file inside of my, so right now in my VS Code, I don't have this, but oh shit, open the wrong. Didn't want to open this. So I know I'm inside of. I opened the wrong software. So excuse me. So if I do a text.txt now, I can do this, and this should create a text.txt inside here. Yeah, so we can actually use Terraform to do the same thing. And I said the best place to get as simple as this task now is of just creating a text file. Yeah, this would help us understand how Terraform works. So and
Sorry,
the
question, Moyo.
yes.
And this is a Windows question. So is touch a Windows command as well? Because
Not
I just did touch test.txt and it created a file, a text file in my directory in
Is it
Windows.
PowerShell you used?
Yes, I did it from VS Code.
Oh, VS Code would use Bash. Are you sure?
Well, it's using PowerShell. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
Yes, so it's a
but
Bash. Since you are using Bash there, it would work. But if you try to do it maybe from your command line, your CMD, I'm very, very sure that will not work. I'm not sure it will work on PowerShell either. I think they have a different command to creating a text file.
okay, because I thought that was just like a strictly Linux command.
Yes. So I'm sure you have Bash here. That's why you are able to do it. If you probably had,
Okay,
your
because I just did it from CMD as well, and I was able to create a
works.
file. It worked. Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, it did. It worked. Well, that's interesting. I just wanted to call that
It
out.
is
I thought,
interesting.
yeah,
But I would have argued that it's strictly.
I thought it was strictly a Linux command.
Yeah. So when you said it's Bash that came to my mind straight. I say it is, but it's fine.
So,
Oh, wow.
interesting things we learn.
Mm. All right, cool. What was I? Okay, yes. So before we get into, so we have multiple providers here, but there's a, provider that allows us to create local files. So it's the local provider. It's called the local provider. Yeah, the same thing we can do with that we'll be doing with the cloud is basically we just want to quickly use this local provider to run that simple touch command now. So the resources I can have in here, local file basically is what I want. Uh, again, because of if we switch to AWS directly, when we switch there, we have quite a number of resources can be overwhelming. So also, when I click on each resource, you get all of the documentation for that resource, and then for each of the AWS resource, you have quite a number of things. But so that's why I always try to use this local resource to explain how you will be navigating this documentation. Yeah, if you can starting from the basic is always very, very safe. Yeah, so we have example usage. I always try to start with whatever new resource I'm trying to create. I always try to first, use the example usage here, and then I can now come down to the schema part and then look at the options. Then we have different, I talked about the key that we have a key value pair that's each resource now usually have. So this is where those keys are, the schemas. They are the required ones, and then they are the optional ones. Yeah. So for this particular local file resource, these are the different, options, key value options that we can actually have. Not very much, so we can easily go through all of this. But again, you always want to start with this example usage, and then you build on it. Whatever resource you're trying to create, always start with this. It will save you trying to, and so there's some resources now that you're going to get even more, examples now. They give you different shades of examples, yeah, but you always want to pick again, I don't like to stress too much. I will always use the simplest one so that I can take full ownership of anything that I had. So if I add, a particular, property and then it fails, I know, okay, yes, I'm the one that added this, not that, I copied it from. Again, this is a single source of truth though, but you still want to, be the ones to, add the properties there. So I'm going to copy this and come back to my VS Code. I'm going to paste this in here. I don't know if you guys already see the correlation in this. Let me bring this to the bottom. So yeah, so the resource is our block, yeah, and then the local file, we see that the local is the provider, and then the resource type is called a file, and then this name is just a reference name. Is you can choose whatever it is that you want to call this. And like I said, this is also is kind of, it comes in, it has to be descriptive of whatever it is, this resource now that you are trying to create. So I'm just going to go ahead and call this games, and then the contents, what you want to have put inside of that this file now that we want to create, even though this is content is a string. So again, you get both the data type that particular key or property now is used, and then you get like a very short summary of what that particular property is about. I think it's even better to start with the required field. The file name is the path to where the file will be created. Yeah, so we'll start with that. And then it has to be an absolute path. Yeah, so with this, I usually just do a print working directory here, so I can just easily pick my path here so that I don't, and I want it to be created right inside this place. So wherever it is you want to create your file is fine. And then you have to name the file actually. So I'm just going to call this, let's call it games.txt. All right. And then the contents, Mario Contra. Why is this? So what is happening here is I have Copilot actually installed. I know we are all aware of all of these helpers that we have. So you can have extensions now, AI extensions that would help you kind of make life easy for you, when you are writing your configuration. Yeah, so I am using Copilot. I have Copilot installed. Copilot is by Microsoft. It's a GitHub Copilot. Yeah, it's not free, but there are free extensions that you can use. I've tried Black Box before. Black Box is also a good AI companion. It's a Black Box now. Yes, Black Box. Yeah, Black Box AI is actually also a good tool. It helps you auto-generate code, but I won't completely rely on all of this, because they probably will not give you up to date. It's not configuration. Yeah, but it can come in very, very handy. I've had good and bad experiences using even Copilot now. Yeah, so you want to use that with a pinch of salt. Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and add my favorite games for 2020, but in this 2025 already. This guy does not know what's going on at all. Yeah, so I'm going to, there's a new line. So what this escape sequence is saying is add a new line instead of listing. So it's how I want my content, the content of this file to be listed. Yeah, so I'm just going to let this guy use the rest for me. Yeah, so this is what would be inside of my files. So this name here and what I'm calling this, they actually, maybe me calling name the same might cause a confusion. So this is just a name, a reference name that's for this configuration. It doesn't go out of this configuration. It basically sits inside of this configuration in case I want to use this resource, this particular resource in another you know, block of objects, and we'll talk about this later. And it's called interpolation. Yeah. So, but again, this is the most basic syntax for this. Again, we're trying to learn the HashiCorp configuration language. That is what we're trying to learn here. Yeah. So this is the most basic, and then this will build on. So I hope this is pretty straightforward. Yeah, I didn't write this from my head. Again, we'll be referencing, would see more of how this fits together. So a simple Terraform workflow. I think I showed us in that presentation of how Terraform work consists of 4 steps. Yeah. So step 1, after step 1 is to write your configuration. Right. Configuration file. Thank you. So this is Copilot helping me reduce the number of keystrokes that I use. So 2 is you run Terraform init. So this is a Terraform command. Sorry, I'm trying to make this command. So I don't know if you guys noticed when I ran a Terraform in my command line, if you run a Terraform -help, you see all of the commands that Terraform makes available for you. So the main commands now are the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 commands, and then you have other commands also. So if you probably maybe forget what commands to run, you can always do a Terraform help to help you pull out all of those commands. But with this, again, I said your workflow basically contains this 4 steps. So the third one is to review. So I say review is the right word here. Review your execution plan using with Terraform plan command. And then finally, if you want to now, deploy all of those things, apply changes, apply the configuration with. So Terraform init, Terraform plan, and Terraform apply. Those are the 3 commands that you will be using almost regularly after you have written, your configuration now. So this is our configuration. This is our configuration file. So when I say configuration file, I'm talking about the .tf file that you have. Yeah. And everything inside of it is, your configuration basically. So now that I have written my configuration file, 1 is check. I will come to my terminal. Again, you want to be sure that you are, in the right directory before you run. And I've checked this earlier. So I'm going to do a Terraform init. And when I run this, right now, I only have the one, file in my directory in here. So when I run a Terraform init, this will go to HashiCorp now. See, it's pulling in because this particular provider, it's still a provider, even though it's the local file, as a provider, is very, very lightweight. It's going to go and pull in all of the plugins now from that Terraform HashiCorp now they've made available for this particular provider. It's going to pull it into as part of and every other thing that it actually needs also. Yeah, so it's going to pull in that provider. If I open this up, you can see that these are, again, this is not something that you want to bother yourself with, but these are all of the plugins now, for this particular provider. You can see it's provider local and it's telling you the version and all of those things. And by the time you work with other providers also, it will add all of those provider plugins inside of this. Yeah, so he has put all of those in, and then with this now, I can use that plugin to now, create or provision this creates this file. But I want to again Terraform plan again to tell you to see the execution plan. What do we mean by execution plan? It's basically going to tell you, okay, yes, from this configuration that you've written, I will be creating is a create, action that would be done because of this, and I'm going to create this resource, this local resource that is called this, and I'm going to add, well, the content is going to look like this. The new line character that I added is basically why this is on another. If you just do FIFA PAPS, it's just going to have everything in one line. And then we can see the other optional properties that we saw from the Terraform registry in here. Even though we did not, so this is where the idempotency now comes in, or the declarative nature rather, sorry, declarative nature of our configuration. Yeah, even though we have not explicitly told it add all of these things, but it knows that this file, that this particular resource actually should have all of these things, even though they are not, required, and then it to tell you, okay, all of these things would also be created for you. So the plan is saying I have one to add, not to change, not to destroy. So if I go ahead and do a Terraform apply now, I should see very briefly, very fast, my file. Okay, yes. We have a Terraform TF state file. We'll talk about this in a minute. So I'm just going to say is when you do a Terraform plan, it would basically still list out the execution plan, telling you, okay, yes, this is what you're asking me to create now. Should I go ahead and create it? Yep. Go ahead and create it. And then we see that we have our moyo.txt file was created. And then if you open it up, you have the content that you actually added in here. As see, I'm running. Okay. At what point did I start to run it?
Well, I personally cannot follow because Terraform is not done installing on my computer. So whatever it is I'm doing, I'm getting squiggly lines, red squiggly lines all over.
Yes. Terraform.
So so I just have to wait. I'll probably have to watch this video later. But that's it.
So I'll suggest we take a 10 minutes break. I feel like my throat is already scratching. I want to quickly blah, blah. And then hopefully
go and drink water. Put lime inside, put lemon in it.
trouble.
So we'll be back in 10 minutes. Hopefully,
okay.
So Angela, if whatever question you have, take it in 10 minutes, please.
Was it Angela's PC we're installing Terraform on that we initialized?
Yeah.
Okay.
We tried using Austin also initiated Choco install, and I don't know if it's done. Austin,
even this my own brew, it has failed though.
Hey.
It failed to download.
One is still
failed to download formula tap migration.json.
Okay, when we get back after this break, we'll come and look at all of these things. This thing should not be hard now. So we'll be back in 10 minutes, guys. Welcome back, guys.
Thank you.
All right, so before we went on that short break.
Ask a question. You did the Terraform init before upon executing the Moyo TF. So what if you have like other files like in that particular directory? What will you do? You still do that in Terraform init?
Other files, as in other
Like,
Terraform configuration files.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you do a Terraform init, it would again, the Terraform init basically pulls in the necessary plugins Yeah, that's you have it will go through Terraform go through all of your configuration. If you have multiple configuration files, if it will look at all of the resources that you have there and then pull in all the required plugins,
Yeah.
depending on those resources that you have. Yeah, that's what the Terraform initialize actually does for you. And then when you do a Terraform plan, if you have multiple configuration files, again, to just scan through all of them and then give you an execution plan of how the things that it's going to create.
Okay.
Yeah. Angela, you said you were lost at what point? Anyway, we'll get to your installation in a bit, but I want to see at what point. Henry also said, he's not following along.
No, I mean, I'm watching what you're doing now. Obviously, I can see I mean, it's as basic as as it gets, really.
Mhm.
The only question I just have is to ask is just for those 2 lines to be created in the text file, all these had to happen, right? Because I see all the all the activities in the terminal window down
So
there.
yes, aside just the 2 lines now, it's creating both the file and then putting it in the right directory. That's what it's doing here, and also the
No, but we already created the file now. We already created the
no,
file, and then we just appended that content into it.
no, we didn't create the file. No. The file I created earlier, I deleted it.
You deleted it. Okay.
The file I created was not even. It was what did I even call that file now? I can't find it here.
Okay.
I deleted it. Yeah. So this will both create this file, and the content inside of it. Again, like I said, this is like very, very basic. You probably will not appreciate all that is being done, with this now. But again, what this is just to get us accustomed to
the syntax
of what every other resource that we'll be creating is basically, and then we'll be having more
okay.
properties.
So what does that games that name right there? Yeah. So what does he have to do with the file itself that was created?
It's just naming this resource now. Does not have anything to do with the file. It's just naming this particular resource that you're creating. And we'll see where this comes in handy soon. Like I said, it will be if you need to use this resource. So this local file, again, it's not doing justice to this. When we need to use this resource, because we'll be using resource, say you create you have your VPC now, and then you want to create your subnets inside of your VPC. Yeah. The name that you call that your VPC resource, you would use it inside of the creation of your subnets. So this is where this reference name actually comes in. Use it to interpolate, resources inside of another resource. Yeah, so it's just the name. It does not have anything to do with your configuration or anything. It's just a logical name. You can have multiple local files now. So that logical name that you give it is what would kind of separate or differentiate those files, those resources from one another. Angela, where exactly did I miss you or lost you or lose you?
In fact, I don't even know where to start from.
But did you understand
like you
parts, that syntax and how it's related to this?
No, I don't understand it.
Did you understand
I
where
was asking the other time that is this like a standard for TF for Terraform this thing? Is it that is that we have to write
so the HashiCorp configuration
code for
language is
it?
what's yes, for the HashiCorp configuration language, this is what's a typical resource block is going to look like. And like I said, you would probably not be the one to write. Well, you will be the one to put all the pieces together, but you will be getting your starter kind of resource from the registry. So for this local resource that we just created now, I came here to copy this, and then what I copied here is it looks exactly like this now, albeit now in place of this provider, we are creating a local, the provider here is a local one, and then the resource type is called file, yeah. And then the name is this name, and then we have different options in here, yeah. So if we want to create an EC2 resource now, all I need to do is come to, let's come back to my providers, and then I come to AWS. Again, this would become kind of, for you to start searching for when you EC2 in here, become very, very long. So what I usually do.
You can search now.
Yes. Okay. Yes, you can search for EC2.
No, like from this filtered part here.
Yeah. So when you get to EC2 also, it's still going to, you'll see that you have inside of your, not EBS, I want EC2. So this is not, you still need to, you have EC2 and then you have quite.
Show us your method, sir.
What'd you say?
Show us your method, easier way to do it.
Yeah, use your method, let's see.
I should use my what?
Your method, though.
Okay.
When you search for EC2, you're good.
So depending on what tool I'm using Terraform. So I just do Terraform AWS EC2. This would take me straight to my AWS. It's called an AWS instance. Yeah, so this would bring me directly to the AWS instance resource. And like I said, there are different basic examples that you can, to give you for this particular EC2 now. There are quite a number of, basic examples, but again, I like to use the most basic one. Yeah, that's, I know, I understand all of the things inside, and then I can now come down to the different arguments and then start picking which of them I know. And well, that's why I always because I have the foundational, let me use foundational knowledge of how most of these resources, even if I don't, from doing it in the console, I know some of the properties now that I need. So, but if I'm provisioning a new service altogether, before I even automate provisioning a resource, I'll try to first do it manually first before I even say I want to write provisioning for it. But say I want to just write Terraform from scratch, yeah, it just means it will take a bit longer for me to read up on the different options that I have, depending on what I want to do. But I would always start from, using, again, there are this, examples now that would, if you already know what you want to achieve here, this would come in handy. So this would pull a data. I said data is also a block, it's a keyword also. You use that. We'll talk about using data. I don't want to, boss with, run too fast now. Yeah, but say for this basic one, I'll just pick this and come and paste it inside my configuration. Yeah. But now we cannot provision AWS resources because we've not gotten there. And then I can, edit all of this as I want, add to it, undo from it. So this is, if you see the look alike, it's just that this has very fewer configuration now, and then your cloud resources, obviously it will grow because you have quite a number of things, that properties that you need to add to it and what have you. Yeah. So if you understand this basic one, when you go to other, advanced things, it's just going to build on that basically. Yeah.
Okay. I'm clear.
All right, cool. So we have provisioned this, and I said we have multiple, there are other, okay, so when we talk about mutable infrastructure that IAC actually, helps us to provision. Say, okay, now I've created this resource, but I want to add a new. I know the permission that was created was 777, and I don't want that. I want to change that permission, the permission of this file. So I can come here, add the file permission, and let me just do a 0, uh, 4, 4, 4. Yeah, just so now that I've edited this, if I do a Terraform, I could go ahead and do a Terraform plan straight, but so okay, Terraform plan, this would show you. So if we go through this plan now, we so we see that it is both destroying and then it's going to create again. So that's the beauty of this. It will destroy, and then instead of just changing the permission of this already existing one, it will go ahead and destroy the, that resource altogether and then recreate with the updated version. So that is the mutability now, yeah, of this particular resource. Is not, just adding new properties to it. It will both destroy and then recreate. So it's saying I have one to add and I have one to destroy because there is a change in this. Well, if I let me go ahead and remove all of this and I try to let me run that plan again. Say seeing here that there are no changes, your infrastructure matches the configurations. But what does it mean when they say your infrastructure matches the configuration? Yeah. So this is the that's is where this okay, yes, this Terraform state file. Let me quickly talk about the Terraform state file. So the declarative nature of Terraform, so it says we have the desired states and then we have the current states. So the Terraform state file, this is a file that you probably would not be managing because it contains basically the blueprints of all of the infrastructure now that Terraform actually has deployed, for you. Like I said, Terraform manages the whole life cycle of every resource from provisioning, configuration, and commissioning. Yeah, yeah. So all of the state now, is stored inside of this Terraform state file. So we see, the resource, all of the different resources. We have just one resource now. So this is very, very, it's not much, but as your resources grow, imagine all of the properties that would be in here. So what Terraform does is when you run a Terraform plan, it checks this TF state file. So this is the current state of this particular resource, this local file resource. So if this again, you never want to do any change to this, else you're going to kind of confuse Terraform. Yeah, this is Terraform's own record. Yeah, we'll see how to properly manage this. This should not be sitting on your local machine because of how sensitive this particular file is. Yeah, so what Terraform it would do when you run the plan is it will check what you have in your configuration, and then compare it with what you have in this TF state file. And if they match, you're going to get your infrastructure matches the configuration. But if they don't match, if there's an update, to go ahead and then either recreate and then all of those things that it needs to do. Yeah, so let me go ahead and do file permission again. Yeah. And if I do a Terraform apply, I like to use the auto approve flag because I don't like to always wait. So we have the auto approve flag. This would this when you're using this in production, you never want to use this because you always want to first let Terraform show you what it wants to do, and then have that extra layer of, okay, yes, are you sure this is what you want to do or not? But with auto approve, it will just go ahead and create. I don't know if you noticed this kind of, it went off for a minute and then it recreated. Basically, a new resource was created and one was destroyed. And then we're going to take this to um, so okay, yeah, this is where when if I run this again, I wanted to talk about idempotency. Yeah, so your as compared, so this is basically what idempotency means. If there is no change to your configuration, uh, even if you run Terraform apply 100 times, Terraform will not do anything because there are no changes to your configuration file. So when you hear of idempotency, it's just the ability for your declarative language now to maintain, your infrastructure states if there are no changes to it. Yeah. So there are no changes to my infrastructure after comparing what we have in TF state file and the configuration file, and there's nothing to do. So that's particular state object now does not uh, move away. But how do we delete this? There are different ways to do it. We have the Terraform delete,
Destroy.
destroy rather. Thank you. I said not delete. So we have the Terraform destroy. But I'm not in support of this because if you do a Terraform destroy, everything you have inside of your configuration would be deleted. And peradventure, say you inside of your configuration now you have VPC resource, you have subnet, you have all of those networking components, and then you just want to delete or destroy just an EC2 service or resource inside of that configuration. If you run a Terraform destroy, everything you have inside of your configuration will be destroyed. Yeah, will be destroyed. Yeah, and that's not good at all. So this has been destroyed. Yeah. So I think it's always safer. I always like to comment out. So if I comment this out now, yeah, and I do a Terraform apply again, I want to do this without the auto approve now. So we see what Terraform will do. So it will be destroying that particular saying I'm going to be doing a destroy on, because again, I'm not seeing there's no resource in this configuration, but in my TF state file, I see that there is a resource that is being managed in there. So what this means, what you're trying to say is that you don't want that particular resource again. So if I do a destroy, if I come back here, I don't have any, Terraform is not managing anything in here. So this is fine. I hope this is making sense thus far, guys, because we'll be building on all of this. This is very, very basic. Now, if you understand this, trust me, you can start creating complex architectures using Terraform. Are we together, guys?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you. All right, so moving on. Angela, you did not say yes, so
The fact that I've not downloaded, I've not been able to install Terraform, and I can't like follow up. But I think to an extent, Sha.
You
To an
said
I would love
extent, I don't really understand fully, but to an extent. But it won't be bad if you can maybe just give a summary again.
I want you to run the destroy.
Just leave your installation running, because I interrupted mine. I was hoping I was going to be able to just download and install using the GUI, but that didn't work. So I had to go back to what I was doing before. So because I was Googling how long it takes for Terraform to install on a Windows machine, and I saw somewhere where it says between 5 and 10 minutes, and it's been way more than that. And so, but yeah, just leave yours. I don't know if there's a quicker way to do it. I don't think so.
So the GUI actually, all you need to, maybe you want to let's we run through the GUI installation together. That shouldn't take. That is once you download the binary file, you just copy it to the.
Okay, I can share my screen so we can do
yes,
that.
please.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Let me do that.
Let's go through that.
Sorry, Moya, I was going to say that maybe you have probably run the destroy command to see if that effect you explained, that if you destroy to kind of make the block destroy the object in the block. I don't know.
Yeah, I ran the Terraform destroy and it destroyed. So I recreated
you commented at before you destroy. You commented at first before you destroy.
No. I ran first before it destroyed, and then I recreated it, and then I now commented it out. But I'll do it again. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. I'm not sure what screen I'm sharing. What do you see? You see a PowerShell window?
PowerShell, yes.
Okay. That's what I'm sharing. All right. So what I did was let me go back to my Brave browser. So I downloaded this one. So then let me bring this to the screen.
All right.
And then let me just run as admin.
No. You're not running. You're not running.
I'm not doing what?
You're not running that. It's not something. You won't run it. So would just the parts.
Okay.
Can you get the parts?
Okay.
Yes. So just copy the parts. It's just that the part to that.exe, not the part to this full folder now.
Yeah, that's it. This is the path to the .exe is in this folder.
Okay. So
you mean the relative part?
No. This is fine.
Okay.
Like you put it in, inside OneDrive and okay, yeah.
Okay.
So we open up just open up your environment. Just click on search. That your search icon. Search for environment variables. Yeah, I think
Where do you mean? Where?
Beside your Windows. At the bottom of your.
Sorry, that's.
Click on your PC and do
hold on. So you said you see my PowerShell window, right? My PowerShell window. Right?
So we're not. You can minimize this. We're not working with PowerShell now.
Okay. What are we working with?
Just search for environment variables.
Click on your PC and do it. Click on your PC.
Okay. Environment.
So edit the system environment variables. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So we want environment variables. Yeah. So
systems
environment. System environment variables. Let's click on
parts.
Okay, parts. Yeah.
Yes.
Then click on new.
Okay.
Pasting that's in there.
Yeah.
And then okay. Okay. So if you open your CMD now and do a Terraform -v, it should work. You don't even have to use PowerShell. You can use CMD also.
Let me try. Okay. Let me go ahead and stop this.
Okay. Yes. Even from VS Code, that should work fine.
VS Code, yeah.
Okay. It's like we have too many tools. Let me go from if I go to VS Code, let me try the
terminal, yes. Anywhere, any terminal.
Okay.
That's the beauty of using that.
Okay. If I do
Terraform -v
Terraform
space /v.
Says Terraform is not recognized.
Restart the system.
No,
Restart.
You have to restart.
Oh, now I did now. Okay. It works.
Okay. And it worked. Okay. I mean, if that's the case, then I have to do it later. Okay. Let me try it from CMD.
Mine is still stuck on downloading and the rest.
What did you say, Austin? I didn't get that.
I say mine is still stuck on the downloading. It's still stuck on the where it was. But I think it should be my network because my network.
Look at what it says here.
So it
Terraform.
was, so
That's fine. It's working now.
So what does that mean now? Does that mean it's fine?
Yes.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Up and running now. Man, great.
If you go to your VS Code and why did Terraform? Why did it? Okay, maybe it's Terraform. Who is VS Code now? That is.
Okay. So I'm in VS Code now, and this is what you did. This was that you can say I named it followmoyo.tf. All right. So games, and so it's still giving me these squiggly lines. Is it because
the parts the file
Mhm.
Windows is quite different from for Mac. So for Windows, I think you
Okay.
use the forward slash now.
Well, let me see. Let me confirm that, because this is where I saved my stuff, because I thought that was the problem, but maybe that's not DevOps resources, and I have one that says Terraform here. No, not Terraform. What did I name that thing again? DevOps IAC. Okay. Yeah, you can see it's back. That was where I got it exactly from here.
Oh, okay.
And I did this, and you can see that's what it is, but I don't know.
Well, wait, I see invalid escape sequence. Okay. So
Name.
for your escape sequence, it should be a backslash. You should use a backslash instead of forward slash.
Where?
Yes, for that
Okay.
escape sequence.
Okay. But I didn't fix it. Let me view the problem.
Wait, did you try changing those? Did you use the forward slash that I used in my?
The forward slash.
In the file.
In the file path, no.
File name.
Let me go back and do this first.
Okay.
So I think, okay, it might be that it's looking at those things and thinking it's an escape sequence.
Yes.
So let me do forward slash here.
So that
and see that fix it.
That I'll go. And Gelato is facing installation problem now. Fail to download.
There's got to be a more efficient way to. But okay. Okay. So how do you?
If you run a Terraform init, make sure you save the file first, though, because I see that it's not saved.
Okay.
You can
enable
to save you having to save every time.
Terraform
init.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Terraform is not recognized.
Probably need to restart VS Code.
VS Code, okay.
You save, okay.
Yeah, I already saved it. I don't send you message. Yeah, Terraform.
Okay, just use your up arrow key, yeah.
In it. Okay.
Congratulations, sir.
Okay, you see that he has pulled in
Nice.
the Terraform, so you can do a Terraform
Okay.
plan, Terraform apply, and
Terraform lock.
so it will create the Terraform lock and then that Terraform directory also. That's where you the plugins now have been pulled into.
Okay. Okay. So, but it hasn't created this file yet, just
Yes,
yet, right?
until you run the Terraform apply before you
Yeah,
create.
plan
Okay.
and apply to create it. Yeah.
Terraform apply.
Why not do
Usually,
plan first? Sir?
it's not compulsory, but you always want to plan to see exactly what it's going to do. But like I said, apply, once you run the apply also, it will also still give you the execution plan. But now it's now going to ask you, are you sure you want to go ahead? You want me to go ahead and create all of these resources? And then you just type in yes, and then it will create it. Yeah, so you have your
Okay.
memory.txt file in there.
Okay. Everyone.txt.
Why are you not opening it
That's
from
Huh?
Why are you not opening it from VS Code?
I mean,
It's right there by, on the editor side, yeah.
oh, okay.
So this would just open it up.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So you have to speed now. So I think
Can do cut as well. Can
you
cut
might,
it as well.
Say
Oh.
that again.
So you can cut it as well. You come out as well. We cut it. They cut your TST file. You come out. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Everyone. I mean, what if he's right there? What am I? I mean, except I just want to show off, right?
your command line skill now. Yeah.
except I just want to show off, which is fine. I mean, I can show off too.
So if you do a Terraform destroy, you'll
Mhm.
see destroy, it will delete that file again.
Terraform
Destroy.
yeah.
Why are you using a capital D though?
Okay. Is it case sensitive?
Yes.
Okay, if it is, then okay. Okay. At least it's great
Yeah.
to know that we
Great.
try all this, learn all these things. Now that I know it's case sensitive. Okay.
So you see, it's actually destroy. But like I said, you want to be careful using the destroy command. Instead, it's better to just comment out that block of resource and then do a Terraform apply, and then let's that happen. Yeah.
Okay. So if I want to do it again, the next what I need to do
Just
is
do
run the Terraform apply.
You can use your auto approve flag if you don't want to always be typing yes at all every time you run Terraform apply.
No, that's fine. Now, Terraform apply is not a difficult command to run.
No, it's the yes.
Because auto approve, if you go create something that you didn't plan to
you
create
don't want
inside
to
AWS.
yes. That extra check is always good, especially if you don't use.
Yeah.
So that's why if you don't want to do a Terraform plan, your Terraform apply and then wait for it to do all of this. I just comment this out and do a Terraform apply again, and then it will destroy also.
Okay, so to destroy it, do I need to do apply again, or I can just do Terraform destroy?
So if you have to comment out that configuration, that's those lines that you have written.
Okay.
Just highlight everything.
Yeah, I mean, I can. Okay.
And then do a control / that should,
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
and so you can just do
Got
it.
it. Okay.
And then that's also substitute as destroy.
I'll just do. You said Terraform what?
Apply. Yeah. So destroy would would destroy everything inside of your configuration. And I explained that if you say you have a VPC, you have subnet, you have NAT gateways and all of those things. And then you have an EC2 instance also, that's sitting inside of one of the subnets that you have provision. But it's just now the EC2 you want to delete. If you run a Terraform destroy, all of the VPCs, everything that you have would be destroyed.
Okay.
You don't want to do that. So but if you
so
go,
we can just comment out the section of what you want to destroy.
yeah,
I mean,
I would automatically just take out that resource.
okay, you mean just you can just comment out the entire file and then uncomment the one that you want to destroy and then run Terraform destroy.
No, if you comment out everything, so it's just the one to destroy now, you comment out, just like we did now.
Okay. But when we ran this, so I commented out everything.
And
right?
that's because you only have, this one resource here. But if you have multiple resources, you have 100 lines of code with multiple resources, and then you just want to take out just your EC2 that is maybe taking up 7 lines or 8 lines in that code. Just that 8 line you're going to comment out, and then you run your apply, and the remaining of your resources would remain as they are, and it will only take out the EC2 resource.
Moyo, I have a question. If you are running a script that maybe it has like maybe 100 lines of command, will you have to like comment all of those 100 lines of command?
If it's all of that, all of the resource you want to destroy, yeah, you can go ahead and comment out everything.
So this is kind of a little bit confusing, right? Let me just be sure I understand what you said. So this is the file, right? And we commented everything.
Yes.
Right, from every, so
this is a
what
very,
command?
very basic file.
Say that again.
I said this is just one resource. You only have one resource in this.
Yeah. I get that. So I'm saying like, so if I run, what do I need to run right now to make it seem like I'm destroying when I'm okay? So what can I use to destroy this thing?
Now is destroyed now. Do you have the everyone.txt file there?
Yeah. This is right here. It's not gone.
Okay. Run Terraform apply.
Okay, that's what I just ran. If you look at the screen, Terraform apply.
That's strange.
You see that? Yeah. So yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. Like I'm not sure I understand.
It destroyed it. I don't know.
Let me go back. Okay. Do I need to refresh? Let me go back
okay.
and
You didn't
check
save it now. You didn't. That's why. Okay. Yes. You have to save your file.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
If you do a Terraform apply now, it would tell you I've checked your Terraform TF state file and your configuration. There are changes in there, and so I'm going to go ahead and destroy that.
Okay.
resource.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, that's why I just wanted to make sure I get that part straight, because let me get back and do this like this.
Yeah. So Austin, you were asking something. I don't know if you've gotten your response there.
Like, I was asking if you have multiple command line of command, and maybe you want to destroy. So you have like a comment or highlight every command, every 100 lines of command you want to destroy before you have to go ahead and destroy it. They do like shortcuts to do that.
Shortcut. So if it's not, so the 100 lines now is not all of the configuration that you have inside of your of that all of the resource that you have inside of your configuration file. So for you to even have 100 lines of code inside of one configuration is not very, very ideal. So we'll talk about modularizing configuration soon, putting them in blocks in different files for easier management. Yeah, just like the example you said now. So when you are getting to 100 lines of code, you want to refactor your code now and then maybe break them into chunks. Just like I don't know if you're familiar with functions. Yeah, instead of having a function do multiple things, you want to kind of separate them, into different functions that you only have. So also when we start writing our configuration, yeah, you want to kind of separate. You don't want to put all of your configuration inside just one file. Yeah, so you want to kind of modularize it. That's the word. Yeah, putting them in different configuration files. So for your, say you want to put your networking resources now, you put those inside of one, .tf file, and then you want to put maybe your compute resources, you put those is also in, so that when you need to manage, when you need to remove some, and when you need to add more, it's easy to put those to manage your configuration basically. But if you have everything inside of one configuration, you have 100, 200 lines of code, and then you need to take out maybe 100 lines. The best way you can do it is to comment, everything out. But your IDE makes it easy for you now. You can, there are shortcuts that you can use to take maybe comment out from line 1 to line 100. Yeah, from the top of my head, I don't know that. There are shortcuts in your VS Code that will help you do multiple highlights. And you can even see if you, in your code, yeah, if you're inside of your resources, you can collapse each resource and all of the properties that you have in there. And then, you can now highlight each resource that you want to do. That will reduce the number of lines of code that you have to deal with. All right, Henry. It looks like Angela is still having issues with his installation. So Austin, you can go ahead and install using stop that Choco. Like Choco is not behaving, so you can just download the binary and then put it inside of your
okay. I'll do that one.
variable. Angela, are you still with us? Do you want us to quickly run through this your? But that's what Henry just did now, Master Hartford. That's why I
Oga, for what do you want here again? Have you not already heard everything?
That's why I made Henry do it instead of me having to share my
It was even you that was helping him to teach me.
Yeah, so
That's part of the, I will try it myself. Don't worry, I'll try it myself.
Okay.
Like it's not working on your end, or what's the problem?
No. I'm not doing online. Just listening, so that when I sit down again, I'll work on it. I'm not doing it online.
Okay.
I'm not doing it.
Once you run the
okay.
Everything, even whether you comment it out or not.
Because I thought I heard you say something about you restarted your computer and it worked for you. So I thought you were doing it right now.
Not now. I've done. When I was installing my Terraform earlier, not today. Yes, well, yesterday.
Okay.
Yesterday.
Okay. Oh, you are ahead of the class. Ogasa.
Yes. Hey man.
Yeah. Hey man, Pelumi.
They are deploying SpaceX. They want to launch some satellite to space, but no problem with Terraform. We'll be fine.
No, wahala.
Angela, are you still with us? Angela's vexed. Right.
Thank you, Ogamuyo, for today. My back, they hate me.
Hello.
Yes, Angela, I can hear you.
I said I'm with you, but I don't know.
Do you want to share your screen? Let's see what error exactly you're having. All right. Cool.
Please. Thanks so much. I've closed it. I closed it earlier before running it again. So it has done a lot of installing, blah 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 before I go to this point. I don't know the point where I was just for error to download.
Interesting. Wait, what Mac OS are you using? Is it an M1 chip or Intel?
Intel.
Okay, Intel. Okay. So should not clone it. Installing Umbro should not even. There's actually the installation. Again, the documentation you read. So I'm sending the Umbro installation.
Where am I now? Where am I? Hello?
Yeah, Michi, I'm trying to quickly run through this. This documentation is so everywhere. You. Documentation is EOA. No, this should walk straight down. Just run this one that I sent again. This should install straight. Should not have any issues. Did you get that? I just sent one new command.
Yeah, that's
It's the same one we ran here too. Don't know why.
Am I on my screen? Can you see my screen?
I see that something is missing. You didn't just cancel. You didn't copy the full thing. There should be a closing at the end. Control C should take you out of this. The double quote. You're missing the double quote at the end of that. You can just paste it and add the double quotes. You didn't copy that double quote. Just use the up arrow button. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you have your double quote now. It should work fine. Our package installers are first continue. Okay. Did you run all of this earlier? I'm sure it didn't. Downloading and installing Umbro. Okay, it did. Updating Umbro. I hear it fail. Do not fail. If it fails, then so while this is running, our time is spent, but tomorrow would delve into, now we have installed we have started learning the HashiCorp configuration language, Now we're going to take it up a notch, and we'll start deploying to our AWS cloud. Yeah, but for us to do that, like I said, we would need to have the AWS CLI installed and also create a user. Most of us already have users created, but I usually advise that because most organizations that you'll be working with, well, some organizations would probably not give you console access. They'll probably just give you your secret key and your access key. Yeah, so usually I create a user without console access, and then just grant it the right permission to run Terraform. Yeah, so again, I think aside Balumi that said is not configured is AWS CLI. I don't know why. So that's what we'll be moving on to tomorrow. Also, Angela that has not installed Terraform yet.
I will not be available for tomorrow meeting, but I will try to watch the video, follow up,
Okay.
because I'm in some Sunday work, Sunday shift.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah.
But have you been able to install Terraform using by downloading?
No,
that?
no, I've not. I'll do that. I'll just go through the steps and just do it.
Okay, that one is pretty straightforward though. All right, no problem, y'all. Angela, your own brew is doing bridge.
Sorry, Moyo.
Yes.
I want to ask a question. I know we are still learning, but on the normal interview questions for this IAC, how does it I will get some sample maybe towards the middle of this IAC, maybe some sample of the topic interview questions on this.
So I think, well, from the little experience that I have, if you're going to test you on Terraform, it's going to be exactly. They'll probably give you something to write the configuration for. Yes, if it's going, say if it's going to be maybe an oral interview, they just want to maybe play around with ask you some terminology, just want to see if you understand some terminologies, maybe ask you what data sources are and how best to store, your Terraform state file and well, some of those basic things. But say if you want to write a result, because they know that you're not supposed to have cram all of those results. You can't even cram it. Yeah. Even the senior ones still use the documentation. So if they ask around anything around writing configuration, I think the best answer is you use the Terraform registry to get up to date documentation. Angela, should we wait and watch this thing work, or maybe go and play around configuring it after this session, and then if it persists tomorrow, it will be the first thing we're going to do.
Okay.
So we don't keep every other person waiting. All right, guys. Thank you for your time. See y'all tomorrow.
Thank you.
Have a good night.